southbound, partly blocked after an earlier collision just by Kennington Station. And more BBC Radio London travel, the next update just after 10.
This is London.
I'm sure a lot of people will be conversing about the conversation we've been having.
I'm so delighted so many people are calling in about this. This is a heck of a story and we're certainly going to continue.
Your dad brought the first doner kebab to London.
Wow. BBC Radio London on a Saturday afternoon with the Premier League and the Championship.
Tell us the London memory you have for Kate Bush.
This is London.
This is BBC Radio London.
BBC Radio London.
BBC Radio...
Tottenham Hotspur lead Real Madrid at Wembley. Dele Alli back in the team in the Champions League. And what a moment for him, tucking that ball in. A wonderful cross from Kieran Trippier, who's been right on it at the start of this match. And Dele Alli is there to poke it home. Tottenham lead Real Madrid 1-0. Well, that goal came in the 27th minute from Tottenham Hotspur, and they have held on to that lead since Real Madrid tried to fight back in this match. But let me tell you, it's a long, long road still from here. Real Madrid unbeaten in their last 30 Champions League group games. That is a run that's been in place since October 2012. They've also failed to score in only one of the last 53 Champions League group games. That was against PSG in October 2015. So those statistics will just temper any people getting a bit giddy. But what a moment for Dele Alli and Tottenham so far in this game. We'll have the second half commentary live for you from Wembley here on BBC Radio London. First though, let's get the very latest sports news from Katie Shanahan.
Thanks, Andy. Arsenal face Red Star Belgrade in their Europa League tie tomorrow at the Emirates. The Gunners, who have won all 3 Group H games so far, will reach the knockout stages if they win. Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger says he's proud of how united the team is.
I personally believe that my biggest pleasant experience this season is how focused the whole squad is in every single game, and that's the first time in my life I see that, how united and focused the whole squad is, and I'm really honest when I say that, and you cannot say that any player in any competition has gone a little bit easy. The focus of the team has always been, of the squad has always been exceptional.
In rugby union, England winger Jack Noel has been ruled out of England's autumn internationals after a second eye operation. Johnny May is also a major doubt due to a hamstring injury. Elsewhere, there's only 100 days to go until the 2018 Winter Olympics in South Korea. Team GB are predicted to have their greatest ever games by winning 5 medals. Freestyle snowboarder Kate Ormerod, who competes in the slopestyle and big air events, says she should be seen as a contender for a medal.
Other people do look at me, and if they see me in a competition, they think I'm going to be the one to beat or like one of the top ones. It's a nice position to be in, but I just kind of block that out a little bit. I just focus on my riding, because if I start letting other people get to me or like what the tricks they're doing, then it starts to kind of mess with you a bit and it stresses me out. So I just focus on my tricks.
In tennis, Rafa Nadal has become the oldest man to end the year as world's #1. The 31-year-old beat South Korean Hyung Chung in straight sets to reach the 3rd round of the Paris Masters to ensure he can't be overtaken at the top of the rankings. And in cricket, England are currently in Perth preparing for their first warm-up match this weekend. They are still waiting to see if Ben Stokes will be available due to an ongoing police investigation into an alleged incident outside a Bristol nightclub. Speaking to BBC's Charles Dagnall, Middlesex bowler Stephen Finn says he's happy to have been called up into the squad.
Yeah, delighted to be on an Ashes tour, having had success and not much success in the past. I know both edges of the sword, but after what happened in 2010-11 and knowing how good that felt, there's a lot of motivation there to make that happen this time around.
I don't want to talk about negative things, but the last time you were here, you did struggle. I think you admit that as much yourself. Take us back a little bit in time to how you felt then and how you overcame it.
Well, I think everyone has peaks and troughs in their career. It just happened that here, when you're 12th man and you're not selected early in a series, you sort of do a lot of soul searching and searching for answers and fixes to your bowling. So that's what I was doing, rather than sticking true with what is me and the sort of bowler that I am, and having gone back to the drawing board and remembering what makes me a good bowler and what made me good in the first place, just reconnecting with that, and I feel like I've done that over the last few years.
And also at the back end of the season, bowling really must have felt like it was coming out really well.
Yeah, it's nice. I think obviously wicket hauls make things look a lot better, but I did feel in decent rhythm for most of the summer. But again, it's handy to have a few wicket hauls in that last month of the season to be able to push my claim for selection here.
Obviously, you talk about tall bowlers in Australia. With yourself, Craig Overton, Jake Ball, arguably aiming for one, maybe two spots. It's going to be quite the battle to try and get selection for that first Ashes test.
Yeah, I think it is, and historically tall bowlers have done quite well over here with the bounce and the seam movement in the wickets that you can occasionally get. And again, it's just going to be a good, healthy competition within the squad. I think that whoever plays that first test, everyone's going to be sat there wishing them well and hoping that they do well, and you just hope that it's you that gets the nod.
But you do have that experience. Is there a little bit of a double-edged sword where you obviously want to help those who have not toured Australia before and actually assist them with their games too?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the 1980s anymore. You don't. It's not such a selfish environment to be in, I don't think. So yeah, any knowledge that we have, or that I have, that Brody, Jimmy, who've played here a lot before, have to pass on to the guys who haven't been out here before, I think that that's important, and I think that it's going to be a squad effort. An Ashes series is always a squad effort.
That was Stephen Finn speaking to Charles Dagnall, ending that sports bulletin from Katie Shanahan. And we wish England, of course, good luck down under. It's not too far away, about just over 3 weeks' time till the first test at the Gabba. Could be a few sleepless nights ahead. Now, the other scores from the Champions League, Group E, Liverpool 0, Maribor 0. So they put 7 past them, didn't they, away Liverpool? So not quite as easy for them at Anfield tonight, surprisingly. Sevilla 1, Spartak 0 in the other score in that group. Man City are drawing 1-1 at Napoli. The goal for Man City came from Nicolas Otamendi. Shakhtar Donetsk are 2-1 up against Feyenoord in the other game in that group. And the team that Man City are facing in that group, Napoli, are a team that many people thought might go a long way in this competition this season. Besiktas 1, Monaco 1 was an earlier scoreline in Group G. FC Porto are leading Leipzig of Germany by a goal to 0. In Group H, Dortmund 1, Hapoel Nicosia 0. Means that Dortmund could move on to 4 points in the table tonight. I think Tottenham and Real Madrid would have expected that. Tottenham and Real, the group leaders, on 7 points apiece. Tottenham, if they can hold on to this scoreline, would move on to 10 points. Brentford was 0-0 at the end of the first half, and it has reached half-time now and remains goalless at St Andrews. Aston Villa, though, are 2-0 up at Preston in the Championship, and Charlton are 1-1 against Fulham's under-21s in the Checkatrade Trophy South Group A. Just looking at the Champions League tables as they stand then, going into the fourth match of the qualification group stage. Man City at the moment, as things stand, are on 10 points if they can hold on to that draw against Napoli, but Shakhtar, who are going very well, would be on 9 points just behind them. Besiktas on 10 points. They've been a revelation really in this group stage, ahead of Porto on 6, Leipzig on 4, and Monaco, who would be on 2 points, which is quite surprising. I know they lost players in the summer, but they were a very, very impressive side last year. Tottenham, a long way to go in this match, of course, but they would be on 10 points with Real Madrid on 7, Dortmund on 4, and Hapoel Nicosia on 1. And Liverpool would be in second place in Group E with Sevilla on 7 points at the top of that group. Spartak on 5, and Maribor gaining another point if they can keep holding Liverpool on 2. But those groups, of course, can change very quickly. We can have a quick word as Real Madrid's players just emerge for the second half, waiting for Tottenham's players, but Bradley Allen is alongside me here, and we can have a quick word on Chelsea last night, Bradley, because there was a time when Chelsea were the one team maybe in England where if they had to go to a really tough place, you would you would probably bank on them more than any of the other English sides, but Roma gave them a bit of a bloody nose at Stamford Bridge.
Well,
and it was even worse maybe last night.
Yeah, very good point, Andy. I thought at the Bridge Roma played particularly well and were very dangerous going forward, and Chelsea were tested and perhaps a bit fortunate to get away with 3-3 in that fixture last night. Some poor mistakes, uncharacteristic when you think of how watertight they were last season when they romped to the Premier League title. And it's very interesting, isn't it, Chelsea as a team, as a football club, and obviously Conte in charge at the moment. You don't hear any nonsense, any trouble when you're winning. Everything's hunky-dory, and then all of a sudden they lose a couple of games. And I think now, looking to that game on Sunday when they face Man United, that's a huge fixture for certainly for Chelsea.
Well, I saw some
one they can ill afford to lose.
I saw some quotes from Thibaut Courtois, who was saying that it's must-win if they're going to stay in the title race already. It's only just got into November today, of course, as we kick off in the second half here at Wembley. Champions League group stage, match 4, and it's Tottenham leading Real Madrid going into the second half by a 1-0. Spurs all in white tonight, Real Madrid all in black. And I will run you through the two teams as we get a chance to. Real Madrid look like they've changed formation slightly. I'll come to that in a second, though, as they try and come forward with the ball. Marcelo gets it back. It's come off the Tottenham player Dele Alli, and it will throw into Real Madrid. A reminder that on 94.9 FM and online with BBC London, it is a chance to listen to Simon Lederman's evening edition. But here with BBC Radio London Sport on digital, it is Tottenham Hotspur against Real Madrid. Tottenham have Hugo Lloris in goal. They've had to change their back three. They've now got Davinson Sanchez, Jan Vertonghen and Eric Dyer in that back three. As the ball is moved out towards the left-hand side for Real Madrid. Marcelo's there, but intercepted by Trippier, who is at right wing-back for Spurs. At left wing-back is Ben Davis, who's been OK to continue. And then Winks is alongside Sissoko in midfield as Kane breaks into the penalty area for Spurs. It's across towards Eriksen and intercepted by Real Madrid. Crucial intervention there by Luka Modric, who got back to help out.
Yeah, good cover from Modric. He sprinted a long way because Eriksen is trying to get on the end of Kane's delivery. He's been turned over. Oh, little foul there on Nacho.
Dele Alli's been penalised. Kane would have been in if that hadn't been given as a foul, but it is going to be a free kick to Real Madrid. So Dele Alli and Eriksen are the two just behind Harry Kane, who is up front for Spurs this evening. He's top scorer in the Champions League alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, but neither of them have got on the score sheet yet tonight. So Real Madrid are in possession with Toni Kroos in midfield. And they will move it down the right-hand side. Modric again in midfield, helps it in towards Isco. Modric trying to get it back into the heart of the defence, where Casemiro has dropped into a back three. Yeah, sweeper with Ramos and Nacho either side of him. Marcelo will still be going down the left, and Ashraf, who was perpetual motion, wasn't he, Bradley, in that first half, is a wing-back down the right-hand side.
He gallops forward on numerous occasions, didn't he, on Real Madrid's right-hand side, and the assistant, who's now down on the same side, had real difficulty staying up with him when they switched to play impressively. And they're really going to commit forward further here to chase an equalising goal, Real Madrid. It's just their way, isn't it? It's their nature.
Benzema breaking through. He's part of a front line with Cristiano Ronaldo, and then the midfield three behind them are Isco, Kroos and Modric. So they've kind of matched up with Tottenham, trying to obviously take care of those counter-attacks that were causing them so many problems, as Modric plays the ball down the line for Cristiano Ronaldo to chase. He's going to go all the way to the byline, looks to pull the ball back, and Ashraf into the penalty area, tries to get it across goal, and it's Winks who's able to get the ball away, and that will be cleared right next to the corner flag by Vertonghen. Up towards Dele Alli, who shrugs off the attentions of Casemiro and gets the ball out to Harry Kane. They're so strong, the front two for Tottenham. It's overlooked a lot, but they really are strong physically. And Kane tries to get that ball across the edge of the penalty area. He had support there from Dele Alli, Trippier and Sissoko. Well, it was intercepted.
They've got to make one of these breakouts count, Spurs, haven't they? You know, they're bombing forward. If either Kane or Ali manage to hold up a clearance, protect the ball, the energy levels.
as they break down the left with Isco. Real Madrid looking to get back into this game, trailing by a goal to nil. And that's a lovely ball for Benzema to chase, but quickly off his line is Lloris, and he's got it back in his possession. On the bench for Tottenham tonight, Michel Vorm, Serge Aurier, Danny Rose, Moussa Dembele, Son Heung-min and Fernando Llorente. Toby Alderweireld had to make way during that first half due to a hamstring injury. He was replaced by Moussa Sissoko, and Eric Dyer moved into the heart of defence. For Real Madrid on their bench, Moa, Vallejo, Theo Hernandez, Luca Vasquez, Marco Asensio, Borja Mayoral and Deni Ceballos. The referee tonight is Sunet Fakir of Turkey. And the throw-in is taken by Marcelo. Goes all the way down the touchline and it will reach Benzema. Benzema trying to get across into the box. It comes on the edge of the penalty area to Ronaldo. Comes back to Marcelo, who's caught there in midfield by Sissoko. And it will be a free kick to Real Madrid around 30 yards from goal on the diagonal. Liverpool have taken the lead against Maribor.
Yeah, I think he's going to just maybe get the benefit of the doubt there, Sissoko. The referee's just saying to calm down. Marcelo used all of the challenge there. He just pirouetted, dragged back on the ball. There was contact. I think Cruz, Ronaldo, just having a look at this one, might be perhaps a bit too far out for a shot. Maybe Cruz would just flight this one in. Looks as if Nacho and Ramos have moved forward from the back.
Cristiano Ronaldo now jogs towards the edge of the penalty area, so that indicates that Bradley was correct with that assessment, that this will be helped into the box by Toni Kroos, who has done so much in his career already, but he's only 27. As the ball goes in, it's a brilliant punch from Hugo Lloris, who's been caught, I think, there as he got that ball away. Real Madrid have retained possession, but
I think he sort of apologised there, the referee. He did well. He come for it a little bit late there, Lloris, and he might have took a whack to the upper thigh.
Sergio Ramos comes over to
he's pleading his innocence.
Argue the point. Having watched him a lot, Sergio Ramos, well, he kind of made a bridge there, and there was only one way for Lloris to go after he punched the ball, and that was down and heavily into the ground. I think Ramos probably knew what he was doing there. I've watched him a lot during his career, and he knows all the tricks. The ball will go all the way back to the Real Madrid goalkeeper, and we will begin again as they move forward. Hearing Man City have got a goal in the second half. John Stones has given them the lead at Napoli. So a good comeback from Pep Guardiola's team. And Porto 1, Leipzig 1 is another latest score from Portugal. Toni Kroos on the ball. Looks to play that ball out towards the right-hand side. It's controlled out there by Nacho. And Modric will come forward with the ball. Infield it will go to Isco, and Isco will spread the play towards Marcelo, who's cantering forward. They haven't got close enough to him. Squares it! This could be turned in, and Ronaldo looks at him and says, why didn't you play it to me? It was controlled on the line by Tottenham. They're able to get it away through Eric Dyer. Lucky he was there, because Cristiano Ronaldo was waiting to put it in, but he was giving Marcelo a nasty look.
Well, again, like Trippier was for Spurs' goal, Marcelo on this left-hand side looked offside, actually, and he had a few extra touches. He smashed the ball across. Eric Dyer at the far post did ever so well to take the pace out of the ball and clear lines from inside the 6-yard box, but Real Madrid actually have started impressively in this second half, and I would suggest that they're the team in the ascendancy and on top.
Marcelo gets it onto his left foot, tries to sweep across in. Trippier blocks it, goes behind, and it will be a corner to Madrid. The thing is, Tottenham were playing with real adrenaline coursing through them in that first half. When you get the 15-minute break, it's quite hard to get yourself back into that mode again, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think, you know, their technical ability on the ball and in possession is starting to earn its corner here.
In comes the corner. Up for the header goes Ramos, and it will go behind for another corner to Real Madrid. Must have just come off a Tottenham player. I thought that came off Ramos last. There's Marcelo.
Yeah, he's dived there, Ramos. Marcelo.
After a quickly taken corner.
Thrown the ball away in disgust. He knew what he was looking for. Maybe other
Why is he not booked then?
Champions League referees might have bought that one.
Why is he not booked? He's smiling about it. He was in London last week for the the FIFA World the Best Awards or whatever they called it, and he was in the World 11. And I would say rightly so. It's where he won the La Liga and the Champions League, but again, he's got a few tricks of the trade up his sleeve. As the ball comes to Sergio Ramos, he will look to bring the ball forward. Dele Alli manages to win the ball, and that's a soft foul.
There you go. That's what I'm saying about the referees. Sometimes just a bit over-aggressive. They don't like it. Some of the European leagues don't see that. That's a good ball from Isco, but no, in fact, it's not quite as good as I thought on the angle. It's too far for Benzema to reach, and it will go through to Hugo Lloris inside the penalty area for Spurs. Tottenham, who met Real Madrid in the UEFA Cup quarter-finals in 1985. That Steve Perryman goal was enough to put make Real the winners on that occasion. 2011 Champions League quarter-final, we might remember when Tottenham lost 4-0 at the Bernabeu. There's going to be changes there. No, Michel Vorm is warming up, is he, Bradley, down there? What's that? Well, has Hugo hurt himself on that? Yeah, maybe that moment where he fell over the top of Ramos. He might have suffered a dead leg, actually, with the... Here's Dele Alli in space, skips past the first challenge of Nacho. He's got support from Eriksen, might go it alone. Here's Dele, big deflection! It's into the back of the net! Dele Alli at the double! Tottenham lead Real Madrid by 2 goals to 0 at Wembley! He is fearless, this youngster Dele Alli. He's stepping up to another stage now, and Tottenham lead the European champions by 2 goals to 0. Well, the defence Real Madrid all evening has been very open and stretched, and on that occasion he got his head down, he drove with the ball. Eriksen actually attracted, I think it was Ramos, and he's just shifted it onto his right foot. He struck it with venom. It's taken a wicked deflection to fool the keeper Casillas. Spurs shan't complain. Dele Alli at the heart of the action again. Off of Ramos, into the back of the net. Spurs in dreamland, 2-0 up at Wembley Stadium. The Champions League holders, Real Madrid. He loves those faces that he can pick up in between the lines, doesn't he, Dele Alli, and dribble at defenders. He just sold Casemiro a dummy, left him for dead, and then a massive deflection off Ramos, as you say, Bradley. There was nothing the keeper could do about it, but if you don't buy a ticket, you don't. And that is exactly what Dele did there. I just had a feeling about Dele Alli this evening, Andy. He loves it, doesn't he? Not played Champions League football this season because of his suspension. It's just him. He's just like that, I think. When push comes to shove, he's not had a great start to the season. He's come in for maybe a bit of fair critique. I think his level of performance, he would have been totally ready for this game, and I think he has been tonight. He's what the youngsters call a baller, Dele. He's something else. As Luka Modric tries to hit back for Real Madrid. This is not over by any means. Sissoko getting it to Dele Alli. He tries to move it out to the left, and Modric, another misplaced pass from him, and it's a great pass from Eriksen to Sissoko. Good touch. He's got Harry Kane in the middle. 2 Real Madrid defenders marking him. Gets it back to Dele Alli, who is of course on a hat-trick now, towards Trippier on the right-hand side. Spurs 2, Real Madrid 0 here at Wembley on BBC Radio London. Just coming up to 9 o'clock. The 9 o'clock news will be live on 94.9 FM during Simon Lederman's show. But here with BBC Radio London Sport on Digital, what a night we're experiencing here at Wembley in northwest London, the new home of Tottenham, as Harry Winks tries to win that ball back in the centre circle. He's been fouled by Toni Kroos. The free kick to Spurs. It's got to keep their heads now, Bradley. Well, they've got to be really disciplined here. They mustn't get too excited. Is there a need to go and push for a third? Yes, if the opportunity presents itself, and be clinical when that chance comes along, because a third would certainly seal this game as a tie. But they've got to make sure they keep a clean sheet, and then it's possibly going to be a really memorable European night's work. Harry Kane trying to break away. And in this group, Dortmund 1, Apoel Nicosia 1. What about that, Bradley? They've really not stepped up to the plate as we might have expected, Dortmund. We saw them here, they looked really good, didn't they? Yeah, they were sharp, they were dynamic, and Spurs actually were a little bit fortunate to win that game.
Ball over the top, flicked away at the back by Jan Vertonghen, comes to Trippier, and he will move the ball into midfield to Harry Winks. Always available. On the turn now, and a bit of space appearing as well for Tottenham at times, as they get the ball through to Dele Alli. Dele Alli nutmegs Sergio Ramos. How about that? And then the cover tackle comes in from Isco, and it's out for a throw into Spurs. Dele Alli gets on his bike in case Harry Kane wants to take a quick one, but he'll leave it in fact for Kieran Trippier. Throw in then to Tottenham, right-hand side, and we can go to St Andrews and find out how Brentford are going on in the Championship at Birmingham with Billy Reeves.
Birmingham City 0, Brentford 0. Both sides have started the second half the way they finished the first, really. Just sloppy passing from both teams, which makes for a very open game for the neutral, a very frustrating one for the coaches. Birmingham City 0, Brentford 0.
Thank you very much, Billy. So we've got half an hour to go here at Wembley in this Champions League group stage match. As I mentioned, they don't really lose group stage matches in recent times. Real Madrid unbeaten in their last 30 group games in the Champions League.
Yeah, Dele Alli just got in the way there, and Ramos absolutely booted the ball at the Spurs goal scorer. He was no more than 2 yards away.
Well, they've kept Cristiano Ronaldo quiet so far, but all it takes is one moment. As Kroos moves the ball to Modric. Modric looking upfield to Ronaldo. Ronaldo tackled by Vertonghen, but just gets the ball to Modric. Out to the left-hand side by Madrid, and Isco picks it up on the left touchline. And he's playing almost in a sort of position you expect Bale to, if he was fit. But Isco usually is more effective centrally. Marcelo's lost the ball. They've been a little rattled, maybe, Real, by just how physically assertive Tottenham have been tonight, as Marcelo comes forward down the left-hand side, tries to sell Winks a dummy in towards the far post. Great leap from Ronaldo, couldn't quite reach it. It's still in play though on the right-hand side, swung back in over the head of Ramos, and attempted clearance, falls straight to Toni Kroos, takes a big deflection and over the bar. Not the best clearance there in the penalty area by
Harry
Tottenham.
Winks, he just sort of slashed at the ball and he went across to the D. Kroos dropped his shoulder, out to the right foot volley, took a deflection, corner here, Isco to take.
In it comes from Isco. Big leap from Ronaldo. It might be a chance here for Ronaldo on the line. It's helped back in. Another shot on the line, and it's cleared again by Tottenham.
Ronaldo kicks it against Ramos. What a miss that was. Of all players, Ramos actually onto Ronaldo. It was pandemonium, wasn't it, inside the 6-yard box. Lloris was reluctant. He's obviously carrying a bit of a knock here, but he doesn't want to come off. But that was Real Madrid's chance with still 28 minutes on the clock remaining.
Tottenham are throwing bodies in the way there. It was cleared off the line by
Trippier. Got away with that, Tottenham.
And then, as you say, Ronaldo hitting the back with the ball from Ramos, who was running onto it, and then Sissoko cleared. They're on the attack again here with Isco. He's breaking into the penalty area, squares it towards Modric. There's Eriksen, who gets the ball as Modric is nudged off it. And Tottenham are on the break, and you can see fans right the way around Wembley Stadium rising from their seats as Dele Alli marches forward. He tries to find Harry Kane, but back towards his own goal goes Nacho and plays it back to his goalkeeper. Trippier heading the ball forward towards Winks. In goes Kroos, and he will attempt to come away with the ball. By the way, I think his shot was on target, that volley, Bradley, as he gets the ball down the line at Benzema. Benzema is at the byline. He'll look to cross here. Ronaldo's at the far post. He's got Kroos as well. Benzema pulls it back. Ronaldo was there, cleared away on the edge of the 6-yard box by Tottenham, but Real are really starting to put the pressure on now. That was a handball from Casemiro. It wasn't given by the referee. And they're coming forward again, Real. Marcelo sends it in, headed away just in front of Ronaldo by Jan Vertonghen. Dele Alli goes down, and it's a free kick to Spurs. Luka Modric complains.
Well, there's still plenty of time in this football match, and there's some very tired bodies out there. I'm not sure, you know, I've watched Spurs in the Champions League this season, and there've been some unbelievable football that's been played. In an attacking sense, I'm not sure I've seen a game like this. Certainly not in the Premier League. End to end, two teams going for it, being brave, taking risks.
Can they?
This is not a snooze fest by any means, is it?
It's frenetic and relentless.
Entertainment value Yes, right up there. We're lucky to have the seats that we've got, haven't we?
I think Rod Stewart is enjoying it as well. He's here tonight. As the ball is played out towards the right-hand side, no flag against Cristiano Ronaldo for Real Madrid. Hooks the ball back down that touchline. It's played infield towards Isco, penalty, edge of the penalty area. Intercepted by Jan Vertonghen, and Tottenham will clear as far as Dele Alli, who's really in the mood. Trying to get away from Sergio Ramos, shrugs him off, and now it's through towards Harry Kane. One defender in front of him. Blated across to Eriksen. Could it be three? Could it be three? It is three! Christian Eriksen makes it 3-0 to Tottenham against the mighty Real Madrid. They've never won at home against Spanish opposition in European football, Spurs, but it might be happening tonight, and they might be getting their first ever win against Real Madrid. Back-to-back European champions are trailing here in London to Tottenham by 3-0.
Oh, what a goal. Devastating. Counter-attack football at its very best. Is there a goal? Perhaps, Andy, that sums up this Mauricio Pochettino side. I'm going to say the words, coming of age. Was that it? With the opponents that they're facing this evening, quite brilliant. Ali to Kane to Eriksen, the touch, the finish. Wild scenes. What a goal, 3-0 Spurs. Devastating football.
Look at the clip he finished it with as well. Eriksen, just a deft little flick of the left boot, which took it over the leg of Casilla, the Real Madrid goalkeeper, and it rolled over the line.
It's up for Spurs.
Second. They are going to bring on Moussa Dembele for Harry Winks now, Spurs. What about this? Tottenham 3, Real Madrid 0. I'm not going to tire of giving that scoreline out. Liverpool 2, Maribor 0. Emre Can has got the second in that one. And Moussa Dembele comes on. Trippier intercepts for Spurs. Napoli have got another goal back, and it's Napoli 2, City 2 in Italy. And it's Sevilla 2, Spartak Moscow 0. Jorginho with the penalty. As away come Real Madrid. It's Cristiano Ronaldo, left-footed shot, brilliantly caught by Hugo Lloris. We've got 25 minutes to go of normal time here, and this could be a landmark result which will send reverberations around Europe. It will not knock Real Madrid out of the tournament by any means, but it will qualify Tottenham for the knockout stage, and as Bradley mentioned, could be a real coming-of-age moment for this Spurs side. And I'm glad you listed the three of them there, Bradley, because that three-man attack is as good as anything really out there at the moment.
They just zigzagged their way through against this rather one-paced, stretched Real Madrid defence, even though they've changed to a back three in this second half. And they were so clinical, and Eriksen's touch off of Kane's pass and the finish, like you say, to lift over Castillo. Super finish.
Benzema plays it down the line for Marcelo. In towards Benzema, who flicks it on. Out comes Lloris, and Ben Davies didn't really get any call there, I think, or if he did... Between them now as Real Madrid are struggling here at Wembley, and Every completed pass, brilliant from Dele Alli, gets it out to Ben Davies on the left-hand side. Kane, it's into the box. Eriksson, wonderful first touch, but again, the defender. It's down the right. I think it'll be Ashraf down that touchline. He's going to show too much of the ball, though, to the Tottenham defender. And Eriksson now has the ball on the halfway line. The game's amazingly stretched. Needs those
but some of the Real Madrid players, in terms of on transition and actually running back to their own goal, it's so laboured, it's a token effort. Look, shattered a few of them, don't they?
I saw a bit of analysis of some of the West Ham players not tracking back quite as they maybe should have done against Crystal Palace, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here from Real Madrid's attacking players. They're not willing to put quite the same level of effort in as Tottenham are at the moment, and they are having quite an evening, the Tottenham fans. This is one of those standout nights as a football fan that you'll never forget, isn't it, Bradley?
Oh, brilliant from Vertonghen.
How did Jan Vertonghen keep that ball?
Wasn't a great pass from Dembele, and they're playing keep ball here, Spurs. Who would have said that? I think 7:45 this evening. That was 3-0 up against Real Madrid.
That was a yoga move that I can't do. That one that Jan Vertonghen just pulled off. Brilliant bit of control, but they can't bring the substitutes on because there's just no break in play at the moment. Because Tottenham are just keeping possession, moving the ball around.
What this does psychologically to your opponents with the scoreline that it is, it breaks them further. The sky's running and they're to do.
Well, of course, you might meet them later on in the tournament. You never know. This Real Madrid side, this is not terminal by any means, is it?
Absolutely.
As Trippier plays the ball out to Eriksson, who's got an amazing engine on him. The former Ajax player, he's going to clip it in towards Harry Kane. It's headed away from the edge of the 6-yard box, and ironic boos from the Tottenham fans as they finally lose possession. Dele Alli tries to keep the ball in play, and finally we're going to have the substitutions here. But I could bring you news that Sergio Aguero has broken the all-time Manchester City scoring record with a goal at Napoli this evening. It's given them a 3-2 lead. And congratulations to
Isco, Benzema off.
Argentinian. Isco and Benzema coming off. And it will be the youngsters Borja Mayoral and Marco Asensio who come on. Fulham's under-21s are taking the lead at Charlton in the Checker Trade Trophy. And Shakhtar Donetsk are 3-1 up now on Feyenoord. What a spell of play that was from Tottenham, keeping the ball that long. So, throw in deep in their own half for Real Madrid. They almost give away a corner with the throw. Just about kept in there by Nacho. And played upfield. Header from Eric Dyer is chested down by Luka Modric. And Marcelo will bring the ball forward for Real Madrid. The defending European champions who've been humbled to a certain extent here this evening. It's only one match, it's only in the group stage, but this will not be a memorable first ever appearance at the home of football for Real Madrid. And I saw a picture of their directors here, and they looked very glum indeed.
They looked rather disgruntled, didn't they? The scoreline, the manner of the performance. I think they've not actually tried going forward. I think they've had their moments and they're certainly committed bodies, but I think from a defensive point of view, just a lack of aggression, which has really surprised me in terms of trying to win the ball back, trying to tackle and stop Spurs play in and counter-attacking and breaking forward.
Maurice has to come off his line, but the flag is up on the far side of the field. And that will give us a chance as it goes out for a throw-in to cross straight to St Andrews and find out how Brentford are going on against Birmingham in the second half. Billy Reeves.
67 on the clock. Birmingham City 0, Brentford 0. Very sloppy still from both sides, making for a very exciting spectacle. Dalsgaard is off for Brentford with an injury. Here comes Watkins though. Oh, just wide. That's probably Brentford's best chance actually. It's a corner. But Birmingham City are winning the physical battle at the moment. Brentford are hitting them on the break effectively though. Vibe forcing a decent save from Kuszak about 10 minutes ago. One goal's going to win it, I confidently predict. Birmingham City 0, Brentford 0.
It's a good shout from Billy Reeves. That game is quite a way behind us, about 6 or 7 minutes actually. It was the last to finish their first half, that match at St Andrews in English football this evening, or any of the European games for that matter, as the ball is crossed over by Real Madrid. It's overhit by Marcelo. They look a beaten side, dare I say it, Real Madrid. They're still, offering opportunities, and as soon as if they get a goal, you know that they'll be back on it.
Well, Spurs are just dropping back in, getting numbers behind the ball, and any cross that's coming in. Just the body language of some of the attacking players now suggests that they don't feel that they're going to get a run on their marker and actually win it and trouble Hugo Lloris here.
Well, Real Madrid, as I mentioned, have played at White Hart Lane twice. They have played at a number of other grounds around the UK. A couple I didn't mention earlier on. Ellen Road, they've played at. Portman Road against Ipswich Town, as the ball is out on the right-hand side for Madrid. They've played at 3 different stadiums in Cardiff. Ninian Park, the Cardiff City Stadium, and the Principality, of course, where they won the Champions League last season. And they've played at Rugby Park in Scotland, and also 3 in Glasgow, with Hampden, of course, as you mentioned, Bradley, and then Ibrox and Celtic Park. As the ball comes to the edge of the box for Real Madrid. And being Real Madrid, they've also played lots and lots of exhibition matches all around the world. But those were the competitive games in the UK.
I think they played a pre-season game season before last down at Bournemouth, actually, Andy.
How about that? That's not bad, is it? It's almost as good as when Brazil went to Exeter. As away comes Ericsson with the ball for Tottenham. It's intercepted by Nacho, and out it will go for a throw-in on the far side.
Sensible change here, although he'd probably want to stay on. With just over 10 minutes to go and score himself a goal, Harry Kane, tonight. Looks like Llorente might be replacing him. Yeah, that might be a wise move.
Yeah, good call. Crystal Palace coming up on Sunday, Bradley. You will be here for that one, and there will be live commentary with BBC Radio London on that match, so do join us. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff, that one, by the way. Trippier gets the ball in, Dele Alli on a hat-trick, and he will be frustrated. He slaps the crossbar in frustration, because that wasn't the most difficult chance. 6 yards out, and he just didn't get quite enough on it. He just tried to guide it into the far post. He needed to bullet that header, and it will be a chance he might remember long into the night and beyond, because that could have been a hat-trick against Real Madrid, and they do not grow on trees. Here comes the change. It will be Fernando Llorente for Harry Kane, as Bradley mentioned.
Great ovation. Good to see him back fit, resting him up, be considered for Sunday here against Palace, which is another important game for Spurs. They will come thick and fast. Llorente on. I think it was just the speed of the delivery that caught Dele Alli out there. It was quite a fast cross, not as much curl on it from Trippier from this near right-hand side, and I think if he'd have caught it with the meat of his forehead, it would have thumped past Casilla, and it would have been a memorable night for Ali and a hat-trick.
Bradley Allen alongside me here at Wembley, and what a pleasure it's been to be here for this excellent performance from Tottenham Hotspur under Maurizio Pochettino. He gave what I described to Bradley earlier on as a virtuoso performance from him in the press conference before the match. He knew, I'm sure, that a lot of Spanish media and people in Spanish football would have been watching, and they know him well, of course, from his time with Espanyol. But he really did give more than he sometimes does in his press conference. Really said what he hopes this might be for Tottenham, that they can move on and take the next step, and possibly show the mentality of a big club. And really, his words have been borne out by his players this evening. They've been superb. They're going to make another change in a moment, Real Madrid. Their final one of the evening. The ball goes out to the right-hand side, and it's swept in left-footed, flicks off a defender, comes to Marcelo, helped back across goal, Modric down, Ronaldo does get his goal, as you would expect. Cristiano Ronaldo pokes it past Hugo Lloris. Marcelo did really well to keep that in, and when it came to Ronaldo, he drilled it into the goal, and it's his fourth goal, fourth game in the Champions League group stage with a goal. It's his sixth in the tournament this season.
Yeah, isn't that just typical of Ronaldo? A rather quiet performance from him tonight. Marcelo, actually, whose scuffed cross bounced over, was it Trippier? The Spurs defence are asking for a handball. Let's have a look. and it actually got deflected off of Eric Dyer. Don't think he'd be given an own goal because Ronaldo's shot was on target, and that's just another one to the collection of Champions League goals.
Yeah,
for the Real Madrid number 7.
He's the record holder, and that's his 118th Champions League goal and counting. Following the pen in the game against Tottenham at the Bernabeu. Yeah, he's not done badly, I suppose. And named World Player of the Year here in London last week. I saw a picture of him on a throne, Bradley. He's not the most modest. I mean, he's got plenty to not be modest about, I suppose.
I'm not sure he needs a throne to massage his ego, Andy.
It was quite a funny one. No, we haven't got one at home. As the ball goes to the left-hand side, it's a chance to cross it in. That's over-hit, though, by the substitute for Real Madrid this evening, who is Theo Hernandez. And Cristiano Ronaldo gives us another of those horrible looks across the pitch as that ball goes out for a goal kick. Let's go to St Andrews. Big news perhaps for Billy Reeves. He predicted a 1-0 in this game. Brentford at Birmingham. Billy?
Brentford have taken the lead from the penalty spot. Birmingham City 0, Brentford 1 after 73 minutes. Great through ball. Mopé went after it. Was taken out by Roberts. Clear a penalty and a yellow card for Roberts, and Ollie Watkins with the perfect penalty to Kuszak's right. Can bees hold on? Birmingham City 0, Brentford 1.
Thanks very much, Billy. So if his prediction holds true, that is another great result for Brentford, who would get another game in that unbeaten streak in the Championship. They were knocked out of the EFL Cup, but in comes the ball. It's going to come to the edge of the box. It's Marcelo. They can't afford to give away another one here, Tottenham. Breaks to Casemiro. His shot takes a slight deflection, but then Lloris dives on it. And that just relieves a bit of the pressure. They cannot afford to give away another one against a side of this quality.
Not surprising,
Real are not
with
done.
the effort, the industry of these Spurs players. They're just starting to fatigue a little bit, and Madrid continue to chase the next goal in the game, which would remarkably be the 5th one.
Ball now with Marcelo. Both sides have made all their changes. Zinedine Zidane is animated enough.
He just wants them to go forward. He perhaps is just saying, you know, what have we got to lose here? Run forward, play forward, create more chances. You never know what might happen here in the last 7 minutes if they were to get it to 3-2. Spurs crowd have responded.
Where did he score that famous Champions League goal? Was that Hampden?
That was at Hampden as well, that wonderful volley.
That was incredible for Real Madrid. And now he's winning as many trophies as he did as a player, as a manager. But this is his first difficult patch at the moment. He's trying to get Real Madrid out of a hole tonight. They're 3-1 down against Tottenham here at Wembley, and it's Marcelo, well forward, gets the ball across the pitch. Ben Davies heads it away as Ronaldo saw it go over his head, but it's kept in by Ashraf on that right-hand touchline. He'll get it down the line. It's swung in by Casemiro, but that's a poor cross. He's hit it straight out of play behind for a goal kick. Cristiano Ronaldo is directing proceedings. He's saying, get the ball onto the field of play, please.
Well, I think he almost wanted maybe a throw in there, but I think it curled out and then come back, and as you say, went out on this left-hand side, but Lloris has the opportunity to let the clock tick ever so slightly down.
It was Luka Modric was the other player to make.
Yeah, for
Theo Hernandez. And he didn't have his best evening, did he, against his old club?
No, he's rather quiet.
By his high standards.
Yeah, he got on the ball a little bit in the first half without too many penetrating passes. He released Isco once. Apart from that...
Llorente, the Spaniard, gets the ball back down the line to Davis, who was claiming a foul, but the referee is happy for play to continue, and Real Madrid are bounding forward, and they are releasing players forward. Here's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's going to hit one from here. Drills it. Lloris catches it again. What a catch.
Great save. Spurs actually shouldn't have let Madrid break down that right-hand side. They were across the pitch. They had numbers. It came infield. And to be fair, Asensio Morel to the 3 substitutes, Andy, have just injected a little bit of pace into this Real Madrid side at the close of this game. I wonder if Zidane maybe regrets not putting them 2 on a fraction earlier.
Yeah, I think that could be a very good shout.
Yeah, Spurs most definitely have scored like they did against Dortmund here. at crucial moments in this game. I think the alley goal midway through this second half, and then obviously the brilliant team goal which Eriksson finished has given Spurs enough here, you'd hope, to see them through to a famous victory, but still got a bit to do here.
And Zidane has actually championed a lot of these young players, hasn't he? He's
worked with them, and that's been something. I mean, took the B team for a while. He's a believer, similar to Mauricio Pochettino, actually, of young players' development. I think maybe.
Marcelo, wonderful ball through. This is Theo Hernandez, gets the ball across goal, and it's cut out again by Dyer at that near post.
Again, in the wide positions, they've tried to work them time and time again here this evening.
Intercepted by Tottenham, and a chance for them to break. It'll come to Moussa Dembele in midfield, shows too much of the ball there to Cruz. It's not the sort of thing you'd expect from Dembele when he's fully fit. And now Ramos and Dembele have gone face to face. Dembele was battling with Ramos, and they both clipped each other, and then Marcelo tried to get involved. Dembele has said, "Get off me."
Yeah, I think Marcelo's just pulling Dembele away. He knew he's not going to win that boxing bout.
Ramos knew what he was doing there.
Yeah,
threw a couple of elbows.
Yeah, they were sort of fisticuffs, weren't they, the pair of them?
This is why Ramos does pick up quite a lot of reds, but he also picks up a lot of trophies. Eriksson intercepts. Tottenham on the breakout. It's Llorente to his right. Dele Alli's there as well. Dele Alli has been closed down there, but managed to get the ball back in field. Borja Mayoral, the 20-year-old forward for Real Madrid,
that
gets
might
back.
not have been a foul, actually.
Foul on Dele Alli.
Ramos is not too happy. He's saying Ali.
Well, he got the ball, I think, didn't he? But he also
that one.
He also knocked through the back of Dele Alli, didn't he?
See the experience there amongst the Madrid players. About 5 of them just surrounded the referee, didn't they? Right in his face. Frustration coming out.
You know what? People sometimes say that Dele Alli's quite hot-headed, but he's been very calm. He's looked like he's just wanted to play tonight.
Well, he's took a few bumps tonight, actually, and
there's not been any reaction.
He's involved in a challenge right in the first minute that he held his nerve.
Listen to the crowd here. They're loving this as Trippier sends in a free kick, slightly overhit. Didn't have anyone coming in on the angle right at the back post, and the ball will go out in the end for a goal kick to Real Madrid. In fact, they're going to have a free kick for on the edge of the penalty area. Maybe one of the players just straight offside, or there was a bit of a shirt pull in there, but Real Madrid will be able to play the ball forward. Casemiro has given it straight to Sissoko, but his touch lets him down. Still not a favourite with the Tottenham fans, Moussa Sissoko. Davinson Sanchez tries to get the ball to Dele Alli. Marcelo gets it back to Sergio Ramos.
Good press here.
Dembele comes in hard on Sergio Ramos.
That's over.
He's in big trouble.
Yeah, that
Moussa Dembele has lost his cool. I think he saw a chance to stick one on Sergio Ramos there, so to speak. He's definitely booked his yellow card.
Real Madrid can't believe it.
And Ramos is immediately back to his feet. He was rolling around a second ago.
Well,
Moussa Dembele, he's got his own back. What about that, Bradley?
Take that.
That's old-fashioned.
That was an old-school challenge, wasn't it?
He caught Cruz, and then, goodness me, he went for one on Sergio Ramos.
He's rather fortunate, the Belgian now.
Sergio Ramos jumping out of the way of it actually did him a favour. Oh, Moussa Dembele was saying, "Don't mess with me." Well, he jumped out of the way of it, but he definitely got caught by Dembele. There's no doubt about that. Oh, he doesn't, apparently. Here goes Eriksson coming forward.
Oh, it's a great
ball to Fernando Llorente. Trying to go round the goalkeeper. Casilla is out and claims it well. Could have been 4-1.
Lovely reverse pass, wasn't it, from Eriksson? Big space at the heart of the Madrid defence, and maybe if he'd have just stepped onto it a fraction sharper there, Llorente would have finished, and that would have certainly capped the evening.
Well, what an evening it has been. Attendance here, 83,782. So that trumps the amount that watched at the Bernabeu 2 weeks ago. As the ball comes in for the cross, Ronaldo with another cross, headed away by Trippier, and then cleared by Ben Davis. 3 minutes of added time at the end of this one. There were 76,589 for the game at the Bernabeu. So they've gone past that here at Wembley as Marcelo sends the ball in. It's going to be headed away, and it will be Dele Alli back there deep in his own half to get the ball forward. Still 1-0 to Brentford at Birmingham. Will be across there because as soon as this game's over, there will be still quite a bit of time in that game.
Yeah,
but there's a foul on
really
Llorente.
lost his head. Llorente did ever so well. Ali pumped the ball forward. Llorente challenged, and actually Ramos clapped the referee for his decision.
That'll be a yellow card for Ramos.
That's been coming.
He's quite hot-headed, isn't he? But that's probably what makes him a winner, doesn't it, Bradley? I mean,
doesn't like losing.
And sometimes the toys come out as a result of that. Tottenham, what an evening. Here's Moussa Dembele, plays it into the path of Sissoko. Sissoko trying to move the ball forward. It'll go all the way back to Davinson Sanchez in the end, though. And then Trippier goes back to his goalkeeper, Fernando Llorente, who would know Sergio Ramos from Spanish international squads. So there wasn't exactly a big reaction from him as Sergio Ramos went into the book there and was standing over him. Moussa Dembele wins the ball back for Spurs. Lovely little flick in field to Llorente. The former Swansea striker goes back to Jan Vertonghen. Now Davinson Sanchez. I think we should warn anyone who's in a 10-mile radius of us here in northwest London, Bradley, that there is in 2 minutes' time going to be an almighty roar from Wembley. I'm just hearing.
Yeah, I'd have to
Brentford
agree.
have taken a 2-0 lead at Birmingham.
I think, Spurs are slowly getting to grips with Wembley Stadium. They've had some disappointing moments. Madrid again down the left.
In comes the cross. It flicks up in the air. Lloris goes for it, and it's put behind by Tottenham.
Looked up. It's a tricky one. Lloris wasn't sure if it was going to drop back in the top corner, right-hand side. Took no chances and flicked it out. Nearly everybody apart from Marcelo and the corner taker inside the Spurs box here.
In comes the corner, headed away by Llorente, only as far as Marcelo, who smashes his shot wide. It was a very difficult skill on the volley. He's a very good player, though.
Rather desperate effort,
that goes
wasn't
well
it?
wide.
Late on. And that could well be it, Andy. What a night. What a pleasure to be here. Amazing Tottenham performance and result. This has to rank right up there, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Zinedine Zidane has a wry smile on his face. He knows that the game is up. They're struggling in La Liga, and now a speed bump in their road in the Champions League. It's a first defeat for Real Madrid in their last 31 Champions League group games, and it's come at the hands of Tottenham Hotspur here at Wembley. A first ever defeat against the Spanish side here in England for Tottenham, and a brilliant one this. A scout, a major scout. The back-to-back Champions League winners Real Madrid have been beaten by 3 goals to 1 here at Wembley.
You're listening to BBC Radio London Sport on digital.
BBC Radio London.
First for London Sport.
Wow, what a night here for Tottenham. Glory, glory, and this certainly will be a special night. This is early stages in the Champions League, so I don't want to get too carried away, but it's a landmark victory if you beat Real Madrid, no matter where it is, when it happens, and Tottenham should celebrate this one. But obviously, there's still a long way to go in this competition. But Tottenham have sealed their place in the knockout rounds of the Champions League with 2 games to spare with this 3-1 victory over Real Madrid. 2 goals from Dele Alli this evening, getting them on their way, and then Christian Eriksen getting a third. Cristiano Ronaldo got an almost customary goal for Real Madrid, but they're trudging off, looking incredibly dejected, whereas Tottenham Hotspur are hugging and applauding their fans all around the stadium. Liverpool have beaten Maribor by 3 goals to 0, as I mentioned. Brentford 2 up at Birmingham. Will be across there very shortly. But Bradley Allen, let's get your words on this, because you've watched Tottenham over many, many years. You've seen the progress they've been making under this manager, and you mentioned earlier that this might potentially be a coming-of-age moment.
Well, just possibly. I think if they can go on now and have success in terms of trophies, that continues to be the question mark. But tonight against a very good side, okay, some may argue without a couple of players through injury, maybe 1 or 2, not the peak of their footballing prowess and slightly past their best. Having said that, this Real Madrid side know how to win. They've had great success in this competition, and I think that there was a bit of fear in that Real Madrid side tonight. They knew that they were going to be in a tough game. The way that Spurs handled themselves in the game out the Bernabeu a couple of weeks ago, and they just went for it tonight. Right from the first whistle, they were stretched Madrid. They committed players forward. It's played into Tottenham's hands, and I think with, you know, where Spurs at, you know, with the youthful exuberance, with the fearless nature of their players, with the running capabilities, we see that in abundance, and they were worthy winners.
Dele Alli is someone that will get big headlines now, and
I'm really pleased with Dele.
That's another level, isn't it, what he's done tonight?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he was ready for this. He's had his critiques, as we mentioned in commentary, perhaps not at his best in some of the Premier League fixtures this season, missed a few chances, not really getting into goal-scoring positions. He had one before he actually scored, which you'd usually expect him to get on the end of, but when Trippier, who was really impressive tonight on Spurs' right, volley crossed on the second occasion, Ali was there, right place, right time. He got a deflected shot in the second, and he was brilliant. He was full of running. And I think the line that I was going to use, if he would have scored, is, has Ashley Young ever scored a hat-trick in Champions League? I was ready to save that one up, but that wasn't quite there to be, was it?
The answer to that is definitely not. Napoli 2, Man City 4. It's Raheem Sterling who's got the 4 for Man City. So another good night, has to be said, for English clubs in Europe. All 3 English clubs winning this evening. Bradley, I say again, it's group stage. The big guns, you know, they'll keep their powder dry till you know, when it gets to sort of March, April, when it really gets to the nitty-gritty.
No, that's a very good point, and you know, they tend to have, I think, the experience. That's the important word when it comes to those knockout games. They know both home and away fixtures, how to manage it, control matches, be clinical in chances, and Madrid have proved to be one of the best at that. But I think what has happened, the shift actually of the top 6 clubs in the Premier League, is we won't get a Leicester again, and they've bought in the last 3 transfer windows, and they've all bolstered, they've all improved their squad. They've spent an awful lot of money because of the television money that continues to flood into the Premier League, and they're going to be challengers. They might not win it, but I expect 1, 2, maybe 3 of the English clubs to at least get to the quarterfinals this season.
Well, I'm sorry you said that there won't be a Leicester again, because I was kind of hoping that my club would go on a run and possibly get in there, but that's a long way off. Wonderful images of the arch on the screens in front of us here at Wembley, and this will be an amazing night for these Tottenham fans who've been looking forward to, you know, stepping up. And last season the Champions League was a real letdown, wasn't it? It wasn't what the club wanted, and this will be a perfect platform, hopefully, for the knockout stages first of all, but also for when they go to the new stadium next season.
That's an excellent question, actually, Andy, and I think the one thing that we shouldn't forget is Tottenham disappointed last season in the Champions League, but they've learned. Yeah. And I think the group of players, they continue to learn, develop. They're maturing, they're coming of age, they're more consistent in performance, and I just thought when the draw come out, some would argue, and it was suggested in many quarters, no chance. Real Madrid, Dortmund, you're not getting through that group. These Tottenham players are ready. They were lifted, they were encouraged by them particular fixtures, and they haven't disappointed so far, and I think they've been good value for their passage through to the knockout stage now.
And no matter who you draw, 10 points from 4 games, that's a really, really excellent effort from Tottenham.
Well, the other thing as well that we shouldn't forget is now the next 2 fixtures away in Dortmund and a home here to Nicosia, they're free hits.
Well, you
can play some younger players. So
you say that, Bradley, but they might just want to secure that top spot.
Yeah,
now,
maybe with another point or 3 in those 2 games to be absolutely certain, because of then they would get an away leg first and then the second leg home here at Wembley.
Plus they play a second finishing team, wouldn't they?
That's right. So yeah, that shouldn't be dismissed. But what I was actually going to say is the surrounding Premier League fixtures: November, Dortmund, before and after, into December, before the busy Christmas period, before and after Nicosia.
Manage that.
It can help manage that, and some of the squad players, you know, they played here, a few of them against West Ham, and got knocked out disappointingly against in the League Cup last week, they can maybe come and get some Champions League experience, and some of the younger players again, which will be quite wonderful for them. That would be absolutely brilliant and great for Mauricio Pochettino to see.
And Hapoel Nicosia have drawn with Dortmund again this evening, 1-1, so that means that they're both on 2 points. So Real Madrid are most likely going to go through, despite what's happened here this evening. But you know, Tottenham have taken a massive stride towards potentially winning the group. That home game against Nicosia, you'd fancy that for Tottenham. But we'll talk lots more about this, because we want to really revel in what Tottenham have done here this evening. But let's find out how it's finished at St Andrews in the Championship. Billy Reeves has been watching Birmingham against Brentford.
Birmingham City 0, Brentford 2. Great result for Brentford. This really tough game as well. Birmingham City worked really hard for most of it. The introduction of substitute Neil Mopai really changed things for Brentford. He's fizzing around the box. It was he that won the penalty converted by Ollie Watkins, and it was his poacher's goal late on that took the stuffing out of Birmingham City. Almost as important at the 1-0 stage, captain John Egan putting his head in where it hurts. 2 terrific saves also from Dan Bentley to keep the score at 2-0. Chance of there's only one Harry Redknapp from the 760 Brentford fans away to my right hand side, who was superb all evening. Birmingham City 0, Brentford 2.
Thank you very much indeed, Billy Reeves, who's been watching that game at St Andrews this evening. You can get in touch if you're just heading out of Wembley Stadium.